Let's be honest here for a minute. Every guy in the gym wants bigger arms. It doesn't matter if you're a competitive bodybuilder looking to win more shows, an average gym goer who just wants to look better in his clothes, or someone who just wants to drop more body fat and be in better shape. Bigger arms is something everyone's after. It's also a topic that's highly debatable on the internet. You have guys who swear heavy compound lifts are all that's needed for arms. They also say direct isolation work is just a waste of time. You also have guys who say a couple sets of direct arm work at the end of a push or a pull session is plenty. And then there are guys who understand that not just biceps and triceps, but any muscle group that's lagging or needs additional attention, it must be prioritized. That means ensuring a few things in your training. First, that means that you're training that specific muscle group with an exercise that directly stimulates it in a safe manner. Second, you're able to apply a high level of effort to that muscle group or that exercise. In this case, that's how close to failure you train. Third, every rep and every set is high quality. That means minimal assistance from other muscle groups, little to no momentum, a solid stretch and contraction, and a good mind-muscle connection. And finally, you should be increasing the stimulus over time by applying progressive overload. Now, if you're able to check all those boxes of a muscle group that you're looking to bring up, it should respond. And if we're talking about arms, using just compound movements like presses or rows, it won't fully develop them. For the simple fact that all the other muscle groups involved during that lift, the assistance of them will take away from that direct stimulus to the arms. Now, that doesn't mean that the arms aren't trained during those compound lifts, but likely the stimulus from them is not enough if you need to prioritize them. If you just want to maintain arms, or chest and back is a higher priority for you at the moment, compound lifts are probably sufficient for you right now, but that's not what this video is about. If you subscribe to the idea that a couple sets of arms at the end of a push or a pull workout is enough, you may suffer from a physique that has refrigerator syndrome. If you ever notice, the guys who only want to do compound lifts, they generally have a thick torso and a well-built lower body, but they generally have smaller arms with a physique that looks more blocky or like a refrigerator. That's because if they weren't blessed with genetically good arms, they need to train them directly. But many still think that just a couple sets at the end of a push or a pull workout is sufficient. The problem with that idea is, after doing 10, 12, or 15 plus sets of pushing or rowing and being in the gym for nearly an hour or sometimes longer, the energy and effort you have left in reserve to dedicate to those arms or any lagging muscle group at the end of the workout is very low. It's like trying to effectively squat heavy after you just went for a 10-mile run. I've seen this over and over again. The quality of work and effort put into arms by guys doing it at the end of a workout, it's just not productive for muscle growth. You'll often see guys swinging due to fatigue. You'll see other muscle groups assisting in the movement. And in general, you'll just see guys going through the motions, being how tired they are. Now, if we apply all the methods we need to bring up a lagging muscle group and we train the arms on a different day, we come to the gym and train them first while we're fresh, our intensity will be higher, our quality of work will be much better because we're not drained. That means we end up lifting more weight, getting more reps, getting a better pump, and a better mind-muscle connection. And ultimately, that means more muscle growth. Now, I'm not suggesting you take this and go off the deep end and only train every single muscle group with one body part per session, as there's always a trade-off with anything you do in the gym. But a lagging muscle group or a body part that needs more attention from you, if you want to fully develop it, you'll need to prioritize it. And arms are one of the body parts I see trained the most improperly today. And if they're a lagging muscle group for you, they should be given at least one workout per week that's dedicated entirely just to arms. And or they can be trained at the beginning of an additional session where the second body part work that day is not a priority. Once you start applying these methods to arms, or any lagging muscle group for that matter, you will see significant changes in a relatively short period of time. That's because you're finally treating that muscle group like a priority and not as an afterthought. And if you want the training program that I personally created to build more muscle using proven old school bodybuilding training methods, check out my mass gain training programs down below. And as always, if you guys want to see more of the best original bodybuilding content just like this, make sure to hit subscribe.